Welcome to the Outer Realm with Michelle DeRoche and Amelia Pisano. Airing live on the United Public Radio Network, 105.3 FM in New Orleans.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Wednesday night segment of The Outer Realm. We are broadcasting live on the United Public Radio Network 105.3 FM from the Gulf Coast, 107.7 FM from beautiful New Orleans. We're fully sponsored by the amazing people over at Folgers Coffee who have been a part of our journey for the last several years. So thank you, Folgers. We couldn't do it without you, nor would we want to. Also, big thank you to Justin Snicker, a.k.a. Dr. Snick, the Sonic Surgeon, for the contribution of his time, his music, and his voice for the intro you just heard. He's an award-winning composer of Halloween, horror, sci-fi, and dark wave electronic music, which can be found on all of your favorite music streaming platforms. Also, big thanks to Steve McGinnis, the artist behind our logos here at the show. Check him out on Facebook and Instagram. Also specializes in the horror and Halloween genre, but does incredible commission pieces of any sort. So tonight's going to be a lot of fun. We welcome author Tim Malone, who's going to be discussing his book, Behind the Veil, One Man's Journey from Opioid Addiction to Spirituality and Beyond. So it goes from this lovely connection to a beloved dog named Boo Boo. Name is Boo Boo. You know, she's so sweet. She's just adorable. Anyway, which basically led to an incredible journey and several encounters with orbs and spirit guides, angels, other mystical entities. Literally, all I could say is just awakened to a whole other world. So we share the world with so many incredible beings. And sometimes I think people lose sight of the fact that it's all going on at the same time. It's just really amazing. So without further ado, Tim, hello.
Hey, Michelle. Hey, Amelia. I'm very excited to be here. And actually in the room with us tonight, I have very many spirit beings watching and helping me speak to you guys tonight. So they're here. They're excited to be with you all.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, welcome everyone.
We're here to listen. We're here to hear their messages.
Yes. And a note to everybody in chat. And I want to just address everybody. So hello. Hi, Heidi. Hi, Wayne. Hi, Michael on Facebook. How's it going? I'm sure I know everybody else is going to be tuning in. So I want to make sure I don't miss anybody. We are on 8 different platforms, 7 of which have chat rooms. If I will periodically flash comments up, any questions I will flag. And when Tim is ready to take some questions or comments, we will then address them. So I'm not forgetting anyone. I will get to everyone. I do promise, as always. So
I hurt myself, so I have to pillow up.
Oh boy,
my ribs.
Yeah. Casualty. So, Tim, I always like to start off at humble beginnings, essentially. So, from point A to point B, wherever you would like to start, what, your childhood was like, perhaps, did you encounter any, I don't know, people end up having paranormal activity of some sort, maybe seeing a ghost, maybe sensing something. I always feel that sometimes we have these experiences and we just don't remember. And later in life, it just seems to all come back, like floodgates just open up. It's something that triggers. Was it like that for you?
Well, kind of, Michelle. I look back, I had a great childhood. I lived in a Catholic community. We had, like 8 Catholic churches and schools around me. As I look back now, all of that was part of what I was revealed to me later.
Mm.
So it's almost like where I'm at now. I look back at that, and it was all for a reason. I didn't understand it then, and I didn't understand it until the last 10 years. And really, the last few years of what my purpose was and why all those things as a kid happened, and why I was in a Catholic school, and why it was that one, and why I played at this place behind this church. But it was all for a reason. Everything was a brilliant plan that they had for me to help bring in this new golden age.
Hmm. That's pretty powerful, especially when you really have real understanding being younger, you know.
Well, at the time, I didn't. I mean, I was
Yeah,
a crazy
yeah.
kid, and but then as I looked at, I went through a lot. I was an addictive personality, um, and fell into addictions, sexual addictions, opioid addictions through the first marriage. And, I always thought that, well, they saved me from that. But then also now I realize my soul was seeking that experience, that now it helps me be able to teach. I teach classes to people that are addicted. And so it's almost like the whole journey was scripted by them. It's so brilliant, the
Mm-hmm.
whole story and the path. I don't know if you all feel that way, but
Mm.
it's almost like um, my soul was experiencing all these crazy things for a reason.
Absolutely. I believe it's a perfect alignment. We may not know it when it first starts happening. It's like
Yeah.
you got to go through the school of hard knocks, because it's sort of interesting how we come to this place with very little recollection of why we have to come back or want to come back. If it's a have to because you have to get something right, it's kind of cruel because you're like, I don't know what I did wrong, so what
No,
do I know I gotta fix?
but
Right.
when you think of kids um, that are born, they've just come through the veil in the amnesia. They're and they're talking to their parents. I see angels at night, mommy. Or if I'm in a grocery because of my light, they stare at me. So kids who've just come through the veil do have this recollection, but we do lose that amnesia as we get older, which is for a purpose. When you think of it, you couldn't digest all those past lives and all we've done. I mean, it wouldn't be fair.
It wouldn't be, and you can imagine all the losses that you would have suffered,
Yeah.
right? It would be so, so difficult. I've had a couple of past life recollections that started in 2010, and I started having them, and it was devastating. And it was a realization because I kept saying, "Well, why can't I know more?" And they started giving me more, and I was just so sad all the time, and you feel that sense of loss, like you're constantly grieving, and then you're grieving for a time that's long past, and you're just thinking like, I don't fit in this time and place.
I think I've always thought they reveal to you when it's time for it to be revealed.
Mm,
And when we seek past life information, it's very tricky. So I agree with you, Michelle. Um,
mhm,
it can be enlightening depending on where you are in your spiritual journey, but
mm,
also it also can be very troubling. But there are people that do nothing but past life regression, and they help people like somebody that has the fear of water. They go past life with somebody that can go the Akashic records, and
Edgar
they find
Casey.
out that they had a horrible drowning
Mm,
at some point in their life, and
yeah,
so it helps them explain why they feel this anxiety now about the water or whatever it is.
Hmm.
yeah,
Sweet. Yeah.
talk. Oh, go ahead. I was going
No,
to
no,
say,
no. I'm just agreeing. I
yeah,
just, yeah.
that was Edgar Casey. He helped so many people,
Oh yeah. Oh,
right? Just being able to tap in and explain why they had certain fears and phobias, and I think it's wonderful. It's just such a gifted individual. Um, so okay, well, fast forward then. So you got into all these addictions, lifestyle, and somewhere along the line, this stopped. And I think part of that was for this little angel, a little fur angel named Boo Boo.
Well, the story, Michelle and Amelia, is that I was heavily addicted. I would get up in the morning and have a Mike's Hard Lemonade and take 2 hydrocodone. This was in the early 2000s, and go to work. And then by the end of the day, I'd have 14 hydrocodone and 2 Ambien to sleep. So I should have died.
Long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Back
that must have been so
it wasn't as
difficult.
controlled.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I'm not addicted now because there's fentanyl. So I'm sure I would have died. I was a raging addict. But the story isn't about the addiction. The story is the salvation from this dog. The dog showed up at our house. And I told my wife, we never want a dog. We're never going to have a dog. And she got this dog. And I said, well, I never wanted a dog, but I get to name it. And since I get to name it, I'm going to call it Boo Boo because it's a mistake.
Aww. I was thinking Boo Boo Bear, like Winnie the, like Yogi.
Amelia, you're not old enough to know about Boo Boo Bear, are you?
I'm 56. Yes, I am.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
And so the dog got me. I mean, I had to walk the dog twice a day. And then I started getting nudges from the spirit world on these walks. I would find books. Things would happen. I'd see a cave. And I started having this awakening on these walks with the dog. And the dog became my best friend. It became everything to me. My daughters, I had 3 daughters who recommended I start in a meditation class, which I'd never done, didn't know anything about it. I wasn't practicing any religion or anything. I was just, a guy going to work, overweight. And I started having these spiritually transformative events, STEs, I call them. And things started happening in my meditation group. And the dog, I walked the dog and started reading voraciously all these books. I've read like over 400 books in 10 years from everything. Edward Casey, Diana Cooper. I would just start getting books, and I think it was spiritually guided. The spirit world was getting me up to speed very quickly for a lot of lost time. There was a purpose for all this. And oh, hi. Somebody
I just flash them up, acknowledge.
Yeah.
A signal? Shut up.
You'll get used to it.
And so I didn't know it then, but I was reading all these books. Boo Boo was getting older and older, but I started really getting into the spiritual stuff. And I knew a little bit about orbs. I read the book by Kathy Crosswell and Dinah Cooper, Ascension Through Orbs. So when my dog died in 2020, which was a horrible year, we had COVID. I don't know if y'all have had a pet die, but it was devastating.
Too many.
Mm-hmm.
I know. And it's like, well, we can speak about the animal spirit world too later because I have very strong thoughts about the Animal King guy. I got to send you a picture of him too. He's pretty cool, holding animals. But anyway, I was devastated. And so that night I took a picture of my dog who was dead. And then I started taking pictures in my backyard with my iPhone. And the next day I went to this computer, downloaded them to my photo manager, and I started seeing orbs. And I saw an orb on my dog's body, a beautiful green orb, which would be Raphael. And then I started seeing these orbs in these pictures in the backyard, but it was my dog in the orbs. So my dog was in the orbs and above the orbs and on the side of the orbs. And I was like I'd been crying for a day. But when I saw that, I was like, they really do live after us. They really do. And I asked them to let my dog stay with me. And I could almost cry now because
Oh my God.
they let my dog stay. And so I became a maniac. Every night I went out and did pictures and video of orbs.
Yeah.
And so that led to a larger purpose. I started videoing orbs and I started seeing them flash in my backyard in the darkness behind these houses. And I started seeing them like make these, I could see all these other faces. But one night I accidentally took my Canon camera that I was videoing with and focused it on a light of a house. And within that light, I saw people. And that was the beginning of orbs and people and pictures that they were showing me. They started showing me all these people. And at first, Michelle and Amelia, I was freaked out. I was like, I don't think I should be seeing this. This is, I'm looking into the other world, and I kind of knew it. And I didn't know why they were showing it. So
we had some concerns. Why are you showing me this now?
You said you were Catholic, right? So
yes,
automatically all that goes in because you were taught to fear that
exactly.
and that it was wrong. So you don't know how to feel the first time that you realize that that's happened.
Well, in Hollywood and all the movies make everything on the other side fearful.
Of course.
So I was like, am I supposed to be seeing this? But then I just started taking more and more video, snipping pictures. And all I can say is there were themes in these orbs. To me, what it was is the orb. So the orb, I don't know if your listeners understand what an orb is. Do you think they
Oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You're among good company.
These orbs that are guided, these are spirit emanations. To me, they became a stage. Every night I would go at 3:00 and meditate in my special place, and I would ask them to see things like Master Babaji or Archangel Michael. And at night, when I would take the video, I would see those things. And so we're sharing consciousness at that point, which was so cool. And so they're showing me things. So to me, the orbs they were showing me, it was a stage. I thought of it this way. I thought, here's a stage in an orb, and they're showing me things, but they have to show me things that I would understand. And it wasn't random, like different aliens running by or whatever. The view was them guiding things to me, and they had to show them in a way that I could understand it. So that continued. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Drink. So think of this: you're married to me, and every night, whether it's cold, hot, 1,000,000 degrees, or 10 below, I'm outside videoing. Every day I go to work and I'm downloading and I'm fascinated by what I'm seeing. And there was always one person in every orb. And I found out later there was always two people, but the one person was a lady that had beautiful black hair. And if you look behind me, that picture, I don't know if you'll see her, but she's got a face right here with beautiful black hair and her face here, and she's holding energy. That's the Lady of the Light, which at the time I just thought was one of my spirit guides.
Yes. At the time.
But what I've, and actually the picture above, well, I could tell you this later, but I'll tell you now. I was in all these too. So the picture above is my face at the side of an orb. So I'm sharing consciousness. The Lady of the Light which I didn't know who she was then. I called her Carol. She probably should have dumped me then. But it was, and so I'm seeing all this stuff and I'm trying to figure out why there's all these little faces and bodies moving through them and little faces in her. So I'm going to Egypt because I knew that I had a past life at the Egyptian Philae temple. I knew I had been with the spirit lady who was the minister at that temple. I called her Tula. And I knew I came down the Nile on a felucca and got off and went to that temple. And she was teaching there. And I know that we had a fling. And I knew that got me killed later, but
I was gonna say
Nice.
back then, yeah.
Yeah, nice, real nice.
A different time. Get you killed now.
and so I was going to go to Egypt to investigate that. And I just done the book about this whole experience with the orbs and Carol. And out of the blue, the author, Jessica that wrote it, I just sent her the tapes and the video, the voice. And so Jessica said, hey, instead of Egypt, why don't we go to England to the publisher? We just got a publisher. And we have a great, I don't know if y'all know Kathy Crosswell. She's a brilliant clairvoyant in England. But Kathy's given you an endorsement. She works with Diana Cooper. And let's go see her. She's invited us. I said, okay, forget Egypt. We're going to England. So here's the best part of the story. So Kathy says, let's meet at a hotel and I'll give you a reading. So we meet. And she's endorsed my book, and we sit down for reading, and she said, oh my, oh no, what? And she goes, I've done 2,000 readings of people, and I've never seen a soul like yours. You're halfway between heaven and earth. You're in between all the different realms. And she goes, and I've never had a reading like that. And then I said, well, here are these pictures. Who is this person? I call her Carol. She goes, that's the Lady of the Light. I'm like, who's the Lady of the Light? She goes, you don't know who that is? Well, the Catholics call her Mary, but she's the divine feminine. She's been Isis. She's the reincarnate of the divine feminine.
Mm-hmm.
And I just started crying because I'm working directly with her and she's trying to get my attention. And I've fallen in love with her. And I find out that I've had many past lives with her. She's been my mother. She's been my lover. And it changed my life. That was last April. That was after the book was released. So now working directly with her and understanding why I've reincarnated and all the other things, the spirits that I'm working with, and the messaging that I need to bring to everybody. And that's why I'm back this time to reach millions.
Mm-hmm. You will. Probably tonight. But it's very profound, I think, when you have that aha moment. And, I've been fortunate enough to have a few aha moments, and it really changes you. It changes you from the inside out because you realize in that moment that you really are meant for something just much greater, something spectacular, and when you realize that and you realize you're on a path, it's just going to keep giving you more and more of those aha moments. And judging from what I've read, you've had a few of those moments. Like everything that you've experienced, that you've just turned into a lesson for yourself, and you've delved into it. So from this point, I don't know, this one would be kind of hard to beat. This aha moment of yours with the Lady of the Light. So how did you take that from that point on?
Well, they matched me with Kathy because Kathy, since she was a little child, spoke to, she calls it the upstairs, I call them the holy ones.
Yes.
So she had the rare gift of, as a child, speaking to them like you and I speak, and I speak to Amelia. And so they matched me with her so that because I was pretty good at getting their messages and they were communicating through orbs, but I wasn't perfect at it. I'm better now. Um, but still, so every Thursday we meet and I ask her questions about things and things that I experienced, and she explains. She'll ask them, "Tim is asking you all this," and they're like, "Well, tell him this. It's so cool because it's all real. It's all there." And Michelle, you talked about how it feels to have these experiences.
Mm.
I think I could cry. The love that they have for us, the love they have for Amelia, Michelle, and your listeners is so profound.
Mm.
It just moves me so much. And they have so much they want to tell us and help us with. And we're approaching a pretty important time. So, yeah, I had an apparition of the Blessed Mother in a Kroger grocery store. I've had a lot of different experiences, but it's not about me. It's about trying to help people and reach a lot of people. And Michelle, when I listened to your podcast earlier with Carolyn,
Yeah.
so the difficulty we have on this planet is we're third dimension heavy energy, and unburdening that and reaching the fourth dimension, fifth and sixth. So I'll tell you later about the good news about that. But currently, so I've got the book. I have a new book with Kathy called Calling All Humans that we're working on, which will be a guidebook for all humans to, like, the basics of connecting, grounding, how you do connect to these higher things to help humans reach these. Um, but I also have a resort I'm building, not a resort, it's a wellness retreat. And the holy ones have given me, I'm building, so I'm in charge of portals and moving souls on the earth. And so I'm building a 100-foot portal at this land that they sent me to. And it's going to be the Temple of Truth, and it's in Kentucky. And it's going to radiate. And the biggest concern they have is the souls on earth that are not on a spiritual path.
That's many.
That is. Well, but it's interesting. 3/4 of the people on the planet follow some type of religion.
Mm.
And when we think of a spiritual path, the holy ones are like, no, it's not going to a monastery. It's not going to church Sunday. That's fine. And we mystics can work with that and enhance that person's experience. We don't need to be adversarial with religion. Religion, I know, has done horrible things, but it's done wonderful things for so many people. So mystics, we can work together with them. And there have been some mystics that have become very, very important to religious orders. So we can enhance a person's experience and reach into the miracles of their religion as a mystic. And then I forgot the next thought.
Yeah.
That's okay. Just take a deep breath.
Yeah. It's okay. You got as much time as you need.
So this spiritual path, what does it mean to be on a spiritual path? That could be you and your friends riding dirt bikes on Sunday. It could be being a good person, living a good life, and taking care of people. Elvis Costello had that song, What's So Funny About Peace, Love, and Understanding? Those are spiritual paths. Those are the things that get you to continue through the mansion world and to continue through um, this progression that we go through as we reincarnate. It doesn't have to be associated with so many accomplishments or to be in a monastery or whatever that is.
Mm-hmm.
Being a good person and loving. And as I expose their plans for us over the next 9 years, um, you'll see that they're giving us the guide path, the how to do that, and making it easier for us to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's important because you have two kinds of people. You have service to others, and you have service to self.
Yes.
And you don't have to, as a service to others, being a servitude in one way or another. It is just a matter of being a good person. You don't have to go out and do extravagant things. You just have to be kind and do, pay
Yes.
something forward, do something, to be productive. And being a participant in your own life is really big too. This is too many people that are not, I find these days. They're just taking steps
It's
back.
well, ego and the layers of ego that we have, it's just horrible. I mean, road rage and the things that we see.
Hmm.
So, taking a spiritual path. So, what they're doing to help us, this new golden age, we've just left the Pisces era, which is your mind. And this is very important for your listeners.
Yes, hallelujah, because I'm Pisces and I feel the lift. That was a long time coming.
All right.
Oh,
Yeah.
seriously. One
Oh,
more
yeah.
month. Like,
My spirits are laughing with you.
I'm glad. I'm sure they laugh at me a lot too, but wow, when somebody explained that to me years ago, all I kept thinking was, how many more years did you say? Like,
No.
it was one of
Luckily,
those
Amelia,
kind.
we're done and we're moving
Yeah.
into the Aquarian age.
Yes.
This is critical for your listeners. So we're moving from mind and moving to heart. So their words were, there's an excitement. We need the shift from the mind and moving to the heart energy. We're trying to break through to inner peace and joy. It's a dynamic shift for us humans. Many are reluctant to make the shift between the mind and the heart. Every human, though, is being given the opportunity to make the shift, and they're moving the third dimensional walls and making it easier to make that connection to the fourth dimension, which is your higher self. And tomorrow I have my session with Kathy, and I'm going to talk more about with her. Well, tell me what it means to be in the heart and not in the mind. And how do humans do that? In this golden age that will be completed in the mid 2030s, we should be a much happier, purer society. People are going to be kinder and more gentler. So, this is their promise. This is the things they're doing on their end. Our job, Amelia, Michelle, and your readers, our listeners, is as these light workers, is to pass the word about this shift from mind to heart. And I want to ask you both, what do you feel that is? What is the shift from mind to heart? How do we explain that to your listeners?
Well, for me, it's more of a state of evolution, a state of awareness. We shift a lot, actually. And I feel when those shifts happen because I am an energy worker and I do planetary stuff. So I see a lot of that from a planetary level, right down to the heartbeat of the planet, which is the
Yeah.
Schumann resonance, right? So it's connecting more for me because that's the type of energy I will do the most these days is connecting to the planet. But I'm also a Taurus. So I'm an earth sign. So for me, that's what it is. I am always aware of my state of evolution and what my role is here. So for me, the heart, the head, easier to think with the heart, easier to react from the heart than it is from everything that's up here, because this gets you in trouble. This, not as much.
It does. And it harbors all the ego and the things that we surround ourselves with to protect ourselves. Um, I just met a lady that um, I can't explain who I was at the time. They won't let me, but um, I cured her of leprosy, and she was with me the whole time until my death. And she was just there to bring me food as I meditated and things. And then I just met her again, and I immediately fell in love because my soul's like, there's family. This is somebody that's your family. And she's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. But, and the point was, as I asked Kathy, your soul saw somebody that was part of your soul family. We don't expect people on earth to have the same understanding as your soul and your path. So we all have energies that radiate at different levels. And meeting somebody from a past life, and I guess the hard part of what we're going to be trying to do is working with people to understand. So this person now uh, has had some bad experiences with people and men, I guess. So she's closed herself off. She won't let anybody else in. She's totally sealed herself. And it's like, my path is this. I do this Buddhist stuff. I go to 10-day quiet meditations 3 times a year. I don't let anybody into my world. That's fine. But I think, I don't know. I mean, what about you, the heart and the mind? What do you think about where the examples of where we can give the people we speak to this transition to these things?
Well, I like this comment. First off, look at religious paintings of Mary and Jesus. They're always pointing to their heart, not to their head. So if you open the heart, you cannot, with a cold heart, you can't experience divine love.
It's called the Sacred Heart of Mary.
Exactly. It's about feeling all that is around you without the mind getting in the way, which is mind is, it is, I hate to say it, but it is, it's programming. So I guess the question is can we program the heart the way we can program the mind?
Oh, wow. That's deep.
Thank you, Wayne.
I think that comes from experiences in life and how you evolve or not from your experiences, whether they're harsh or not, what lessons you learned, how you come out of it. And being Pisces, I'm all over the place, head and heart. I get myself into trouble a lot because Pisces do roll with their heart more than their mind. But when they get to the point where they have to make that decision with their mind, they can be just as cruel as they can be kind. For me, it's how you come out of every lesson and situation, what you do with it, how you react. You know, I don't feel that you can tell anyone how to do something. This is part of their path and their story and their spiritual growth for their higher self.
Mm.
And you can't make somebody want that experience if they don't want it. I learned that many times over. Yeah. Sometimes you have to leave them behind.
I say it all the time.
Yeah, that's what I learned from Michelle.
We all travel and we all evolve at different times, and we hope that the people who come into our lives can come with us. And sometimes it's just not the way. We zigzag our way through to get to the destination. Some people are tunnel vision and they'll just go one straight line. Other people have various experiences of growth to be able to help get them to the same destination. But are we thinking with the head and heart as an evolutionary spiritual state? Because, for example, when I look at my grandson, I say to him, I love you from my soul. He goes, why do you say that? I says, because my mind and my brain, or my mind and my heart, will eventually fade, but my soul will go on for eternity.
Yep.
And he goes, that's so beautiful, Grandma. He's 6. I'm like, I know. Thank you, darling.
We love him so much. I love him so much. I love him so much.
So it's this different evolutionary state. Like, when you say from the mind to the heart, Tim, like what is your answer to that? Are you looking at this as to what we're doing here in the physical or beyond?
To be quite honest, I just got the marching orders about that this is what's going on. This is where they're helping. And my question is exactly that. How do we, and your listeners, how do we go out and the problem with organized religion has done a good job with assembling communities of large amounts of people of like mind, right or wrong. The problem that mystics have had in Reiki or different things, or somebody that opened salt caves, it's so splintered, and which there are some very, very large podcasts of communities following different things, but how do we convey to people to unburden the ego and switch this mindset to more of the heart? I mean, they still may drive nice cars. I drive a nice car. I'm making nice living. But it allows me to be able to do and fund more of the portal I'm building and all the other things. So that's okay. But I have the same question. I want to come back on your show as I learn more about
absolutely
what the holy ones say.
Yeah.
How we outreach to all these people to make this connection. So I was in my allergist office the other day, and I was upset because he's retiring. And I went to the receptionist and I said, I'm so upset Dr. Kuhn is leaving, and what am I going to do? And she's like, isn't he the nicest doctor you've ever had? I'm like, oh my God, you know what? He had the best bedside manner. He would allow you to call. He would listen to you and give you antibiotics when you wanted. He would give you some prednisone when you were really desperate. And I walked out to my car emotional. And I'm like, I just saw the shift. I went from my mind of him retiring to how much love he put into his practice with people. So I don't know if that's a good example, but maybe some listeners will even have examples of what they think.
Yeah, it's like you're saying, it's in the everyday things, it's not necessarily the big things, but I feel like with the C word of the last few years, a lot of people were affected by it mentally. I mean, we were all affected by it. We all had losses during that time. And some people just became very, very selfish and angry and it never left them.
Too much division.
But that was planned.
Sure.
Now we're going down a rabbit hole.
Yeah.
That's the great divide. Has always been dark and light. It's never been this political party or that party or this race and that race.
Well,
It's
you get
always
into
been
spiritual warfare, which happens on many levels. So I think if we're trying to avoid spiritual warfare, we have to lean closer towards light. I mean, some people can walk the fine line of both, but I think when it comes down to, it's hard because we have the odds stacked against us with respects to division. Some people want to keep that division because it serves their purpose, which is not a higher purpose. It's a lower level energy altogether. The example I can use is, for decades, I've helped people, and people have said, "Well, I want to repay you. I want to pay you something." I says, "No, that defeats the purpose. I don't think it would work if I took money from you." But I would always say, pay it forward. Pay it forward. If you insist that you want to put that money somewhere, pay it to your favorite charity. These are I with me, it's always animal charities. This is, this is what I dig. If you want to do that, do that. Otherwise, go and just, buy a homeless person a meal, or just smile at somebody. Just pay it forward. And that's it. You want to pay for somebody's coffee at a drive-thru, like whatever it is, to just put forward one nice gesture, and hopefully it's contagious.
I think that's beautiful, and I think that's a step in the right direction, and that's why I'm asking. I go through to a grocery, and I have this image of everybody in there is a beautiful soul, and as I pass, I carry this energy with me that flows behind me, and I hope it wraps around all the cranky, angry people and the people rushing through there. And I hope it wraps around them and gives them some security. But yeah, how do we do this together and actually make this work this time? This is a big deal. The next 9 years is a big deal.
Collective consciousness. If you put a thought, if everybody put one thought, a positive thought with a positive message into the collective consciousness, and I've tested this theory. I have tested this theory on more than one occasion, and you just put it out there. Eventually, because there's so much negativity and division being put out there into this consciousness, there's technology that puts out frequencies that works against us. We are energies of being, or beings of energy. Therefore, we are affected by frequency. We are affected by different technology and certain waves and so on, right? Down to your own internet, like it affects you. So if we step outside of that, I say grounding is amazing. Go spend some time out in the park, hug a tree. They love it. They will.
Unless you live in Southern Ontario right now.
That's true. They hug the trees. They will exchange energy with you, and
bring plants into your home. Simple things.
Yeah, put positive things out there.
Beautiful, Michelle. I agree with you. That's exactly it. If we can get enough collective consciousness and then that will be part of the way on the ground floor. They're working to do things and shift energy, but on the ground floor, if we can get enough people collectively sharing consciousness and sending those things out.
You're doing it right now, just by creating awareness. This is sending it out there. You can't make someone come to it. They have to have the realization, because everybody has to go at their own pace. And we can't force it.
No, it's like leading a horse to water.
It starts up here. If this society that we're living in right now is highly narcissistic. It is highly narcissistic.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And the only way through it is to stop feeding it. And how do we feed narcissism? Social media posts and spending time and commenting and arguing with people you don't even know. It's like that feeds the division as well. It just, you can't
I
you
agree
can't
with
win with people like that. You need to move on and conserve your energy for someone who really can get a lot out of it. But the best thing to do is start with your own thoughts. When you wake up, think a positive thought. You can actually rewire your brain doing that once a day. You can rewire all this trauma that so many people suffered these last few years.
Oh,
And
sure.
you can rewire your brain, and that can change. The continuum can change and become more loving and more light. Everybody's so angry.
Meditate, manifest,
Meditate, yeah. Walk on the grass, like Michelle said. Forest. People are shocked when they hear me say I turn my phone off, because I used to work with missing children through different middle people, and my phone was on 24/7. It's insane what that does to you. And I will take my phone and just hit do not disturb, no notifications, and that's it. And I'm done. I think for me that helps, being off of Messenger and all this other stuff that just spits out negativity and gossip and anger. It's got to stop. Maybe start by posting something positive every morning. The way you start your day is going to be a reflection of your day, and that ripple effect.
Well, the good news is the Holy Ones are, they tell me the message is they are fixing things on their side.
Yes.
Making it easier for us to do this. Exactly what you're saying, Amelia and Michelle. They're making it easier for us to make this connection and this energy. And I've had visions of another planet that I was on where I did this. And the portal I'm opening, they want me to call it the Golden Sentinel, but they show me another Golden Sentinel that I built. And it is this planet will get there. It's a free will planet, but they've had enough. The free will part of this planet has really, really upset them. The death and destruction beyond just the soul's journey. So they're ready. They're going to start making the shift, but they need us all to help too.
Well, it begins with us. I think there's one thing that I've learned in helping as many people as I have over the decades is once they believe that they're not alone, it's incredible how they change their mindset, how they feel empowered, how they feel like the sky is the limit, that they can do anything. And they come from being these people who have been conditioned to think a certain way and be fearful, to becoming warriors, and where maybe they have lost faith, they're not afraid to reach out to that faith again and become these warriors and to fight for what they believe in. And I think that's part of the battle, is how do you get them to get to the point where they want to fight?
Well, and once again, 3/4 of the planet follows something. So again, the Holy Ones are concerned about the souls on earth that are not attached to a spiritual journey. They're also concerned about the souls that that have stayed here and they didn't go to the light, that they don't know to go to the light. The other big concern they have is the animals on this planet. The animals and their souls. It's a big, big deal. I've got to send you the picture of, I call him the Animal King. I don't know what his spiritual name is, but he looks like the guy from the Wizard of Oz, the lion.
The lion, yeah.
Animals.
It's
such a cool picture.
You can show it right on the board here.
Oh,
you can't. There's a place where we can present any media that you want. If it's on your computer.
Keep talking and I will pull it up.
Okay, so you bring it on your computer, and then once you have it, I will direct you as to how you can share it right here from our board.
That is so cool. I love this picture.
Yeah, it's a fun thing. just like this while we're waiting. Ba, 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 behind the veil.
Mhm.
There it is.
I love it too.
I
It may
think of,
take me a few minutes, so you guys keep talking.
that's no problem. I'll put up comments while we're at it here. Wayne basically says your positive energy and love is felt by everyone you pass. Picture a magnet with iron fillings over a paper or iron filing. Sorry, the magnet will affect the fillings filings. There's no choice in that; it will happen. And that says. The dark side is division, chaos, hatred, and confusion, and doesn't care how it makes that happen. But people have grown tired of it. Wayne says, I will change the world one drive through at a time. And he actually does every time he meets somebody, whether he's at the grocery store, whether he is at a drive through, the gas station. It's how are you? How is your day? And how are you
That's
feeling?
Yeah,
that's
you
it.
don't have to buy anything. People see these
By the way, I have that picture up.
Okay, have it. Okay. So if you look right down underneath where it has all of our pictures at the little squares at the very bottom, there's one there that looks like a little TV with a little plus sign in it.
Okay, I see
Right
her.
right under Amelia's name, like her picture at the bottom. Can you see that? That's a little square. You'll see there's a little X, there's a little person with a plus mark next to it
Oh wait.
at the very bottom.
Yeah, I see it.
The
And it's
TV with the square. So
the
click on
plus.
the TV with the square. Click on that.
Yep, share screen.
Okay. Yes. Okay. I have to stop my screen because it's not going to let me. So, okay. So go up there, share screen, go
Okay.
up to where it says, do you have it on your desktop? Okay. Click window.
Select the tab to share.
You can have a tab if you want. Or go, if it's on your desktop, you click window.
All right, I got it.
Okay. And click on your picture.
I just did it.
Okay. Bam.
Well,
There it is. There it is. See, that was easy.
Bigger?
Yeah. So you can make it a little bigger from your end if you want. Otherwise, that's. So this is like the cowardly lion guy.
Yeah, see him holding, see his face.
Yes.
And there's a deer above him, and below there's some animals. But see his face right there. He looks like the lion, but he's
Yeah.
holding.
Oh, yeah. At the top. Yes. Got
Yeah.
it. Okay.
Yeah, he looks
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah, they showed this to me because they were like, "Don't forget us. We really need you to also consider the animals and their souls as
Yeah.
you're working with this stuff." So,
Well, they're the guardians. You
yes.
know, they are the guardians. That
Well,
could be.
they're on a spiritual path too. I
Yeah.
mean, animals are just like us.
Yes.
Do you want me to stop sharing now?
Yeah, absolutely. That's no problem. Perfect. There it is. That was great.
That was cool.
That was easy, right? Learn something new every day.
I get my blue face off here.
I think people who can look into the eyes of an animal and say there's nothing there, that they're not sentient. I don't know. It makes you inhuman.
Like I said, there's so much love on the other side for the animals,
Yes.
and they love us so much. And as you all know, and people that have had dogs and cats or whatever, they're on a spiritual path too. They reincarnate. So,
yes.
And they love us. So, yeah.
Yes, they all have different roles. I look at animals as almost a divine sort of intelligent. They can read vibration. They have intuition, premonition. They're rescuers. They're saviors. They're companions. There's been so many stories, even when their person dies, where they just lay at the gravesite.
Oh, I can't watch
They
those.
mourn each other. They mourn
The service
us.
dogs, when they mourn the soldiers, they're actually crying.
Have you all talked to an animal clairvoyant? Oh my God,
Oh
they're
gosh,
brilliant.
yes,
It's so cool because
yes.
they talk about an animal who's passed, and the person that had the animal on them, they're so upset and they're distraught, and the animal's like, "Don't worry, I was time. It was my time. I'm happy here, and all I care about is that I loved you, and
Yeah.
it's so beautiful."
We had to put down our dog 2 years ago, the end of this month, and he has left me Cheerios around the house, and we
Yeah,
haven't bought Cheerios in 2 years because we bought them for him. And I will find them. And I've had people who are skeptical say to me, "Well, where'd you find it?" I'm like, literally right in front of my foot, walking in my bedroom. Like, in my office, he would sit under my desk when we did the show, sometimes on top of my desk. Um, but yeah, it's very real. And
yeah,
I always say we really don't deserve them.
no,
There's such, like, there's that saying where God said, "Send them and send them without wings, so they won't know that they're angels in disguise." And I'm just felt that with him.
Amelia, make me cry.
I'm sorry. That's why I was getting emotional, because who
Yeah.
leaves Cheerios? But my little Versace, right? But
Well,
yeah,
my dog was in the orbs, so yeah.
yeah, that I haven't. I've had communication. I've seen him, but I am a medium, so it's different for me. That's where you're kind of, we have a little bit, I don't know, it's a little bit different for us. It's not that we mourn less, we just have I don't want to say advantage because it feels like so cheap, but we see it maybe differently. We catch on to things that other people might be missing, the signs that they're around.
Well, and so let me ask you both, part of what we can do to comfort people, not only with animals, but what happens when you die? And so the light body leaves and the heavy body stays. So I don't know if I haven't done, I teach classes with mindfulness and meditation. I haven't done work yet with people that are dying and trying to give them comfort. Have you all? And explaining,
Yeah.
help, does it work?
It does. I had somebody come to me and said, "Can you help prepare me?" She had cancer. She was an extended family member, and she wanted to prepare her family. Her concern was, doing something for her family, and what could she herself expect. And, we just came out with really amazing ideas of little things that she could do, such as choose something of yours that's personal for each of your children and just write to them or do a video thing as to why you're leaving this specific thing. My mother actually bought a card for each, my sisters and I, and put down their thoughts as to, how she and my father felt about each one of us and throughout our lives. And I kept journals for my children for the first many years of their lives. So if something ever happened to me, they would know how loved they were. But I think, preparing her, she was comfortable in going on. And my mother, who is highly intuitive, basically looked at me through the almost in her last, couple of days, almost through the eyes of a child again, and says, "Well, I see little Jesus." And I said, "If you're meant to." If you're gonna, you've been naughty or good, I don't know, but we were just playing.
She
But
was a beautiful soul.
she was,
Yeah.
and she just said, "Okay, that's good," and then just snapped out of it and turned into this. "Okay, so what do we need to do again? What information do you need from me before, I'm like, wow, what happened to that little one I was just talking to?" So yeah, I worked with
That's
people before and after.
that is such great work. Oh wow.
Yeah, thank you. It's just ideas of how to prepare them, because that they're. What do you say? You just know. It's just my uncle said he never feared death. When my uncle was on his deathbed, he feared death, and he tried. He had all the money in the world, like, and he was an executive at a hospital, executive of a bank. And he goes, I can't save my own life. And I just sort of looked at him and my heart went out to him. I just said, money can't buy everything. And I have equipment, He goes, I want some of this equipment. I want to talk to my father. My grandfather's been dead for about 30 years. So he goes, I want to talk to my father and see what he has to say. I'm like, all right. And you know what? After he passed, which was very suddenly after that, I asked him, I said, is it everything you thought it would be? He goes, it was more.
Of course.
I said, tell me what you see. He goes, lights, so many lights. And I go, what is it? He goes, soul energy. He goes, it's beautiful. So that to me was like, wow.
All encompassing. It's not.
It is.
It's not the way you see it on television, and everybody's experience is so different. I mean, I've had so many NDEs and not one of them was identical to the other. I think it's important, but if I have just a little thing to say, if you're a medium, a psychic medium or intuitive, and you're visiting someone in the hospital, I do this. If I'm on a floor where I know that people are very, very ill, I will kind of stroll into their rooms and check things out, see if they have company, and I'll know from the other side whether or not they didn't.
Mm.
And I will go up to them and ask them if they need anything, if they want to talk. And sometimes they just want to pray or whatever. And I've done that several times. You don't need a degree to do that. You don't even need to be an intuitive. Sometimes people
some people can't
pass
sleep
away by
because they're worried
themselves.
about dying. I mean,
Yeah.
and I will tell you this from my orbs, and I don't know, I don't want to spend a lot of time pulling up these pictures, but some. So one of the things I showed Kathy one of my orbs. So every orb I have now is like I'm the soul mover. I won't tell you why, but anyway, souls move through me from 2 to 4 in the morning, especially a lot. I have to have them calm me down and widen my path, Archangel Azrael, because it keeps me up. But I see in the orbs that you do see your family. The first place you go when you go to the light is you see your family, and I see them in the orbs. Then you move past the family and you move on to your soul family, and you go from there, as you all know what happens after that.
Mm-hmm.
In the orbs, I mean, these orbs show the truth about what happens when you die. It shows the path. It shows the souls. I have to pull up a good one for you.
Okay. No, absolutely.
I don't know how to, but anyway, let's keep talking.
Okay. Yeah. If you get it, just remember the process, or I can walk you through it again.
I'll let you know when I find it.
Okay. I think that.
Will it take any questions?
Well, right now there's just like a lot of comments,
sharing stories.
Yeah, but when we get back to animals, Wayne we had a little dog named Pixie, and she was a rescue, and she was less than a year old. Almost immediately, she had been blinded and paralyzed from a stroke, and then seizures, and we fought, kept her alive, got her strong. And I always said to her, I said, when you're tired, I'll fight. You fight, I fight. And it was always a matter of just keeping her going. And eventually when she got tired, we could tell, and we had to, make that decision. But he went and he was, went for this reading, and the person said, he goes, she was here for you. You weren't here for her. She was here for you. She was a Chihuahua, about 3.5 pounds. And, he's like 6'2", and this little Chihuahua.
Personality.
I know, this cheesy little pocket dog.
Yeah.
And she did. She just changed everything, that little dog. So
our love for the animals. Oh my gosh. I mean,
I think most spiritual people who are spiritual are animal lovers, because you can't not love anything that is created or is, and they're all sentient. I mean, when my orchids drop their flowers, I have tears in my eyes. Like I'm a mush. And I thank them for having flowered for me. And, you know, I won't throw their petals in the garbage. I put them out on the lawn so that they, you know, in a flower bed so that they can continue their journey there.
Yeah. I think we, we need to have an understanding that everything here has life. And when you do start to make those connections and see how everything works in unison, how the bees, have their role, how the birds have their role, how the butterflies have their role, how everything has their role. And you realize you are part of something that much bigger, and it's not so cut and dry. And when you throw a nail into that tree, or you cut into that tree, and I get it, like this is it's a cycle of life. It's what makes things happen. But, it feels it. That trees have a root system to how they communicate with one another. And right down to water and molecules. If you have 2 glasses of water and you speak beautiful things to one, terrible things to the other, put them in the freezer, take them out, and you'll see the difference of how the ice looks. It reminds me again of a project that happened at a high school. There were 2 plants, and they were separated by glass, and the students were instructed to speak kindly to one plant and to sort of be belligerent to the other plant. And the one that was receiving kindness grew and grew. It was healthy, it was happy, and the other plant was wilted and dying. And yet they received the same care. It was just how the frequency, the vibrations that we were putting out towards them. So that's huge.
I believe it.
I think you're right. And I think, so there's a famous author, and he's written a bunch of books. I won't mention his name, but he does a lot with the brain. And he's become famous, and he does stuff with Oprah. And his whole thing is that if you want a universe, there'll be a universe. If you want a heaven, you can make a heaven. And it's like, he will not say, because he's all about that the brain is in charge of everything. He will not say there's a creator. So I think for your audience, this is a big point. I'm telling you all the truth that, well, if we all want a heaven, we can all have a heaven. If we all want a universe, there'll be heaven. No, it's not true. There is a creator. We are a part of a universe that is so brilliant and so beautiful, but there is a creator. It is not our brain that creates things. There is this incredible archangels and angels and other planets. It's just brilliant. And it's different worlds as you progress through, as you reincarnate. It's brilliant, and they are brilliant. And so it's not that he just can't say that, well, there is a creator, because he's all about, it's in your brain. If you want it, you'll create it in your brain. How do you all feel about that comment? I'm probably in trouble with him, but anyway.
I think the brain, you're looking into something that's, again, very, to me, very, very physical. I know that what I'm more energy. So I know that what you put out there is what will return to you. So if there's something you want in life, if you want to attract certain kinds of people to you, then be that kind of a person, because the creator, the universe, wherever your faith leads you, will send you what it thinks you want. So if your mindset is always stuck on this hamster wheel of, woe is me, I've got this terrible luck, or I've always got these people around me, then that's what's going to send you. If you're thankful, you're grateful, you're putting out positive energy, and you are kind, then it's like, you must want more of this. Okay, so this is what is sent to you. You get signs as well, So if you're fighting an uphill battle, and the creator, the universe, wherever your faith lies, will kind of give you these exit points. But if you choose not to take them, you're still going to climb the hill. But as soon as it starts nudging you into a different direction and you're like, okay, you know what? I'm just going to change gears and go down this road and see what happens. Oh, wait, things are getting a little bit lighter. Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to stay down on this road. Well, here's another road. Things start to get easier, but people don't like change. Change is difficult for some people. And this takes us back, Tim, to what you were saying. How do we get people to
know.
go from here to here? How do you get them to embrace the change?
Some
Well,
people are living in trauma, though. If they were verbally abused or abused as children in any way, they have to heal before they can go into that.
Well, and I think here's the plan. I think this isn't this talk today that we have the solution. I think as I continue to work with the holy ones, and tomorrow I'm going to ask them, how do I make it more simple to show them examples of what the mind and the heart, the difference in how you connect? But how do we, and all your listeners, they're all light workers, I can tell they are, and they're all beautiful people. How do we do this? Because it's been tried. Remember, there's a lot of modalities, there's all these people doing all this stuff, and they all want to make a difference. But this is the time. This new golden age, this Aquarian age is right now. It just started in February. And they're telling me 2032 to 2034, we're making this transition big time. So, how do we on the ground help this? We're the ground workers. So, how do we create this army? So, I need to be back on your show as I learn more. And as you all both are clairvoyant, ask and say, how do we do this?
You have to remind them.
Yeah.
Remind them of who they really are.
And collective consciousness, like Michelle said.
Yeah.
That's a big one. We are one. The most fascinating thing I ever heard through a piece of equipment when I said, who am I speaking to? We are you, you are us, we are one. We are one. It never left me. We share a consciousness. It's like sharing that brain.
We do.
Right? And if we continuously put out the message, eventually the collective starts to think, do I keep hearing this? What is this thing? What is this I'm hearing? What is this about? And then they start looking and they start digging and they start connecting up in real time.
My vision that I've seen in the future societies that I've worked with or that did make the transition, generally they're smaller groups of people in more protected societies. I had a vision one night, and they almost showed me domes of groups of people that were like-minded, that provided everybody with the same protection and love. Mm-hmm. And these were places where the arts were important. They had very stiff laws about people that went against the mores of society. Mm-hmm. And they very much supported arts. They supported these group gathering areas where people would share thoughts and ideas. And we all think, well, how boring is that if I don't have my video or I don't have my phone but think of when you were a kid, how happy were you when you were just playing with the box?
Yes.
I know.
I reflect back to that a lot in my life. What would you have done differently, Tim? Right? What would you have done differently? What would you have changed? Do we feel like it's easy for us to think, oh, I wish I would have just done this or done this. I wish I wouldn't have done this. I wish I would have done a different thing. But maybe we just need to be exactly how we are right now to finish the journey and to bring as many people with us as we can.
Well, you two are beautiful, and I'm sure all your listeners are.
Oh,
you all share such wonderful energy, and all the spirits around me are like clapping for you guys. They're very
Aw, thank you.
Regrets are
Mhm.
silly. Regrets are ego. Instead of let me take that lesson and move forward, it's what did I do? If you can't change it, it's almost like the 12 steps with AA. God grant me this serenity. I really believe in that prayer. You don't have to believe in God, but the prayer makes a lot of sense. You can't change it by going back. Move forward and just do better. That's
well. I think that's well said. Beautiful. And the hard part is the human condition. Our lives can be complex. Being human's not easy,
no.
and a lot of people are struggling. I was an opioid addict. I should have died. Um, so there's a lot. I have a wife that's not very spiritual, so that's a whole other deal.
Mhm.
Um, so being human is not easy, and but I think you're all right. I think it starts with us that we love. Like I said, when I walk in the grocery, I walk in and say, I love everyone in here. I don't care how they're dressed. I don't care what they do. I love everyone. And I hope when I pass them, there's some energy that wraps them up and helps them have a better day. So,
You're 100 steps further than me. I don't love everyone, but I do wish them all well. And I had to learn a difficult lesson that it's okay to walk away because you've tried.
yeah, I agree.
So I think it's important. That's because that's also ego if you stay when you really don't need to stay and continue trying to force someone into a different life.
Well, I'm trying to get zoning for this wellness retreat, and we're having a big
Yeah.
meeting Sunday at this place that I want to do this. And all these neighbors that hunt are going to be there, and they might spit on me, they might yell at me. So I'm with you, Amelia. I may not love them at the end of this meeting. I hope I'm still alive, but
You'll be fine. You're bringing awareness, and you're not taking up a lot of space, and you need nature, and that's part of
it's
nature.
all going to be green space is all I'm
Yeah.
doing. I just hope by showing them what I'm doing, they get that I'm not a threat and I'm not building hotels and I'm not.
No, and just remember that it's okay to fail the first time. It doesn't mean that you're going to fail every time.
Well, thank you. I love
because something is there could be changes, but they're changes made to be able to carry out this next step.
Amelia, we must have had some past life together.
I think everybody who meets and discusses and comes on the show, we've all had something.
I think we've all had a lot of more past lives than we all.
I don't want to come back. I really don't want to come back.
You don't have
I cannot do high
Take a
school
break for a
again. I talk to my guys. I'm like, come on, just yank me over.
See, I'm more of I'm a warrior. I have as many in my family who have been before me, and as much as I don't want to come back, I know I would come back just to fight for those who can't.
If it's not finished, yeah.
Yeah, I'm the same way, Michelle. I know I've decided to come back so many times to make a change or make a difference.
But maybe this is it. It's the way it has to be. I mean, I think if it's in you and it's within your essence, for me, like I say, through bloodlines and reincarnation, both, it's always been the same sort of theme. And it's been no different in this life. I've always fought, for the innocent. I fight for the innocent still. I fight for the planet. I fight for the animals. I fight for everything that this planet encompasses, from the ethereal world to the physical. And I think you just do it because it's in your essence. It's in your nature. You come back, you instinctively know what to do. You instinctively know what to do now that you have awareness.
Well, I agree. And I think as soon as you pass to the other side, you run through the gates and you're like, I've done this so many times. I'm going here and I'm going there.
Well, they'll just pick you up and throw you back in.
But I think you do have a chance to make a decision to come back.
Mhm.
I think a lot of people. I think what happens because we come here with like amnesia.
Yep.
I feel like when we go over, and I do believe in an atonement to something greater, and then you come back, and it's all to help you continue to evolve and to continue higher frequencies. I just would like a little bit more when I come back. Just a little bit more strength, because I know I've always worked with children, but my gosh, the last 10 years have been so trying, with working with missing kids and that, and it's just been so hard. And I just wish that I could bring, if I have to come back and continue, because I don't think any of this is going to change because it's been going on for centuries, at least send me back with a little bit more knowledge is all that I ask for, so that maybe I could get a step ahead and save a few more.
She's being modest
Oh,
because this is a woman who has found over 300 missing kids by herself.
no, it's not 300. No,
Yeah,
it's not. But
Oh, stop
like,
it.
it just,
Just stop it.
I wish that maybe make me a different sign. I don't know, because I fall to pieces when I'm working on recovery instead of rescue.
Mhm.
And maybe that's what I need. And I had to learn not to work with parents and to have someone in the middle, because it gets very difficult.
You bring them home. That's all that matters.
I know.
It'd be
I
nice
just
in a
want to
way
bring
that
them all
bring them
home alive, like,
yeah.
It's just hard to understand each soul's path.
yeah,
Like
it's just so
suicides. I mean,
so painful. It's so painful. And and you see the ugliness in the people. It's a lot to look at. It's a lot to endure. And I understand more why my friends who have worked child sexual assault units and child crime units never last more than 4 or 5 years, because it's just too much.
Which it takes you back again to this stage of enlightenment.
Yeah.
This is a type of spiritual warfare. The things that work against us, right?
it is, and trying to explain what spiritual warfare is and how dark and deep it is. So in all my pictures of orbs, I've taken a lot of daylight pictures, and I've had dark energy hovering around my place.
That was a concern of yours, though, wasn't it? How do I do this without having dark energies come into my space?
But I found out that because of who I am, that my light's so powerful, they don't get near me. But that doesn't mean that other people don't have that issue. There is dark energy, but the light always wins. And there are consequences for the people on Earth. I don't know where your thoughts are on people that mass murder and things and where they go.
Oh,
mass murders? Yeah. That's a whole other show.
Well, I could tell you this.
Yeah, we better be careful.
That's a whole other No, it's not being careful, because they're all gone, right? The really prolific ones are dead.
Yeah, but where do they go and where do they hang and what?
Well, let's explore something. So let's say we have a Charles Manson type.
Right.
Okay. So he dies. Everybody's like, hallelujah. Bam, bam, bam. Good riddance, this and that. They stay in limbo, or, are they stuck? Do they go to darker places? So if you have an ability where you can retrieve them, do you? And I can give you 2 examples. If you don't, 2 things can happen. that soul can go on and manipulate another living individual to perhaps pick up the same characteristics and recreate the whole scenario again. Or you may have stronger, darker entities get a hold of that soul and push them back into recycling everything that's happened. Or do you say, you know what, work with other ethereal beings of light and say, I'm going to cross this person over. Crossing over doesn't mean, oh, kumbaya, love and light, and
No,
ha-ha.
it just means we're taking you off this plane.
We're taking them off this plane, and the powers that be will take him where he needs to go, whether it be atonement, whether it be, oh, you're coming back and I'm going to have a crap life.
We're just giving them flight.
They're just away from influencing and repeating a cycle.
And the thing with Charles Manson, and he is so disturbed. I mean, he was an MK Ultra, what do they call him? Victim of MK Ultra. And there's so many prolific serial killers. People will call him a prolific serial killer, yet he never killed anyone.
No, but he was good at what he did, with recruiting people. But that's an example. So when you die, and Tim, here's something for you, what your thoughts are. When you die, my belief is, and I'm sure many people share it, the physical body is but a vehicle. The body dies. It doesn't mean the spirit ceases to be. The spirit moves on. It's the essence. So if the essence is in a confused state, or, just unhappy, or doesn't realize it's passed on, or, where does it go?
Well, there are earthbound souls that don't pass because they are in a car wreck or for some reason.
Or children.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they don't know that they've died.
Exactly. They don't know that they died. So that's one of the things I'm supposed to do on Earth. Have these portals and the light to attract those. But let's talk about, there's a clairvoyant very close to me, I won't mention her name, that was in the Egypt time. And she had a relationship with somebody that she was the Pharaoh's, one of his women. He found out. And so she was put into a pyramid. So they sealed her in when he died, or whatever they do. And so she died within that constraint, that pyramid, that chamber. And when I speak to her about it, it's the most awful thing. She just it was awful. Can you imagine being alive and being sealed inside a tomb? So I said, well, because she just went back to Egypt. She goes, but I'm not going near the pyramids. I'll be 8 hours away from them because the energy there I can't get near that. I said, well, what happened to the Pharaoh? She goes, oh, they've got him. He's in a place that he can't leave. And my understanding is that, and like I said, she talks to them like you and I talk, that those that commit horrendous acts end up in situations. She mentioned he's sealed somewhere and he can't get out. In Australia, I've gone to search for souls, and there's a plane there on the desert where there are 1,000 people biting each other and kicking each other, and they're fighting, and there's these seraphim angels overlooking them all, waiting for those that say, I give, I'm done. And then they take them and they're ready to give themselves to a spiritual path. So that's just my opinion, that those bad people have atonement, and it takes different forms.
Hmm.
Just my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you have free will, right? So, um, if you
It's
are,
not a free pass.
no, that's right. That's right. No, you have to want, you have to want
Yes.
to help.
You have,
Otherwise, you
right.
can roam here for
Yeah.
millennia.
The children are the saddest because they,
Oh,
especially if they don't have anyone come for them, because maybe grandparents were not known, they could have passed away, or, and they're not recognizable to them, or they're stuck and they stay back, or something darker holds them back to
well,
feed off of them. It's the saddest thing. And I encourage people who think that, because there's a line, right? Michelle and I have been asked this before. What do you do when you find a soul? You're supposed to leave it, right? Well, it's like, no, because if it was my kid, I would want that child in the light, not in the darkness, being chewed up and spit out for food.
I send a lot of children to the light. I think
Yeah, it's very important. It's very
you all can
important to do
create
that.
your own portal. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
no brilliant person. You can create a portal and create the light, and you can take these lost souls and these children and send them to the light, and
Yeah.
their lives on the other side are going to be beautiful. They're going to be. I don't know if y'all saw that movie that the guy went to the cabin where his daughter was murdered, and um, yeah, there's a lot of truth to when you get to the other side. They really take care of children.
You
That
can
were,
ask. You can ask
I think we
the
also,
archangels to take them as well,
yeah,
and
yeah.
the Lady of Light, and whoever you
Seraphim
refer
angels.
to her as.
They're the
Yeah.
workhorses, the seraphim angels.
we ourselves are portals.
Yeah.
Yes, we
We
are.
ourselves are portals. So there's
Guys,
nothing.
I'm going to leave in just a minute. I'm not at home. So
That's okay.
That's
Yeah,
okay.
that's we are just so we had we're 7 minutes over our usual time. So okay, what do you have coming up? Where can people get your book? The Amazon link is in the show description, just to keep things easy. They can go.
yeah, thank you all for that. I'd love people to buy it, and there's another one coming later. But
Mhm.
I can't tell you how much I love you both.
Thank you.
Aw.
Ditto.
It was, of all the podcasts I've done so far, I think you guys are so good.
Thank you.
Thank
Yeah,
I
we
could talk to
love
you
having
all
you
night.
here.
I could talk to you all night. I could sit in a living room with you, and we could all fall asleep. And I could
Oh, we don't sleep when we're together. It's like and energy, and yeah.
I have to ask them to shut my brain off between 2 and 4 because of the souls moving. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I started to use white noise and find different frequencies so that I didn't listen to them, because it was like waking up 2 o'clock radio every day.
I know it's always
Yeah.
3, but you have to ask. You just can't think, well, shut it off. You have to ask them.
But it also helps if you're grounded
Yeah.
and you tell them to let you sleep.
Yes.
That's
You have
all.
to tell them.
Yeah.
But
Mm,
I love you both so much. I
Thank
just
you.
have had the best time.
Thank you. I'm glad we'll have you back. I'll
Yeah.
email you. And
Yeah, would you, in like 6 months, I'll have more information
yeah,
about this new coming revolution. And
yeah,
what the,
we're booking into May and June now. So if you have something you want to book in the fall,
I will.
I would recommend that we book it, because if
It'll
you
be
wait
booked.
6 months, you'll be into the new year.
Especially just before Halloween, September,
it's
October,
very-
and
it's
all
very-
the spirituality in November, it gets crazy.
Yeah, it's very humbling.
Well, you guys are doing great work, and thank you so much for having me. And thank your listeners. They're all great people that are trying to do the right work. I can just feel it.
Well, thank you
This
for
is how
being
you start. You get the message out.
I know.
So
I'm just starting.
where can they find you if people have questions or want to connect with what you're doing?
Well, you have the book that you can
Yeah.
buy anywhere, like it on Amazon, but then the website is timmalonebehindtheveil.com. And
Okay.
that has actually the pictures from the book in color
Mm-hmm.
and descriptions. And then also you can communicate with me there.
Okay, perfect. So thank you so much for joining us, and I look forward to your next segment with us.
I can't wait to be back on in about 6 months. So thank you guys.
Okay, I will
Thank you
message
to
you
your
some dates
spirit
to
family.
give some thought, or to Dominic. You guys figure it out.
Uh,
All right.
you
Thank
guys are
you.
great. Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night.
And that was very enlightening. I really enjoyed that conversation.
So
Big
good.
thanks, of course, to everybody in the chat room. Of course, you guys are always so amazing. Very nice to have a nice, enlightening discussion. So
Emotional.
there's so much more, that could definitely be covered. So I'm looking forward to when he returns tomorrow night. Wayne and I, open discussion as we explore the incredible world of animals. So we'll look into, oddly enough, from one to the next, but we're going to be looking at different intuition, mysticism, animals within the spirit realm, their role in healing, rescuing, guardians, you name it. There's just going to be a whole lot of information. So you have been listening to The Outer Realm here on the United Public Radio Network, 105.3, 107.7 FM. Tomorrow I am on with Carol Ann at 5 p.m. Part 2, as promised, from the last conversation, is to spiritual warfare. And she's got a few things cooked up. So
I look forward to it.
there'll be that. Yeah. So please make sure you check
Love
out
her.
Ethereal Encounters as well. And then, of course, watch for The Outer Realm. Anyway, good night, everybody. We shall see you again tomorrow. Love you all.